Today, we are going to talk about another prominent figure in the Bible. His name is Japheth. The life of Japheth, a legacy of expansion and blessing. Japheth, one of the sons of Noah, played a significant role in the post-flood world. Though the Bible does not give us many details about Japheth, as it does about Shem and Ham, his life still carries important lessons for us today. Japheth's story teaches us about honor, expansion, and the blessing that comes from aligning with God's purpose. Let's explore Japheth's life, his significance in biblical history, and how we can apply this. We can apply this lesson to our modern world. 1. Japheth's role in the ark and the new beginning. Japheth was one of Noah's 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. You can see this in Genesis 5 verse 32. He and his family were among the 8 people saved from the flood. You can see this in Genesis 7 verse 7. Like Shem, Japheth was blessed to witness the new beginning of humanity after the flood. So modern application. Japheth was blessed because he was part of a family that obeyed God. He did not follow the wickedness of the world, but instead followed his father Noah into the ark. Today, God is still calling people to be saved, just as he called Noah's family into the ark. Jesus is our ark of salvation. Have you entered into God's salvation through Jesus Christ? 2. Japheth honored towards his father. In Genesis 9 verse 20 to 27, after the flood, Noah became drunk and was lying uncovered in his tent. His brother Ham dishonored his father by seeing his nakedness and telling his brothers instead of covering him. Japheth and Shem, however, acted righteously by covering their father without looking at his nakedness. You can see this in Genesis 9 verse 23. Because of this, Noah blessed Japheth and Shem, while Ham's son Canaan was cursed. You can see this in Genesis 9 verse 25 to 27. So modern application. Japheth's action shows us the importance of honor. In today's world, dishonor and disrespect are common towards parents, elders, leaders, and even God. But Japheth teaches us that when we choose honor and righteousness, we receive blessings. Are you choosing a lifestyle of honor and respect, or are you following the culture of dishonor? 3. Japheth's blessing, enlargement and expansion. Noah's blessing over Japheth was powerful. May God enlarge Japheth and let him dwell in the tent of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant. You can see this in Genesis 9 verse 27. This blessing has had 2 parts. 1. God will enlarge Japheth. His descendants will spread across the earth. 2. He will dwell in the tent of Shem. This implies that Japheth's descendants will benefit from the blessing of Shem's lineage, which later led to Jesus Christ. So modern application. 1. God still desires to enlarge his people today. If we live righteously like Japheth, we can experience growth, prosperity, and influence in our personal lives, ministries, and businesses. 2. Dwelling in the tent of Shem means being connected to God's people. Jesus Christ, a descendant of Shem, offers salvation to all people, including the descendants of Japheth. Are you positioning yourself for God's blessing by walking in righteousness and aligning yourself with his people? 4. Japheth's descendants and his global influence. Japheth's descendants became some of the largest and most influential nations in history. You can see this in Genesis 10 verse 2 to 5. His sons included Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. These nations later spread into Europe, Asia, and beyond. Many historians believe that Japheth's descendants include Greeks, Romans, and other great civilizations. Modern application. Japheth's legacy reminds us our choices today impact future generations. Because Japheth honored his father, his descendants were blessed and spread across the earth. What kind of legacy are you building for your future generations? Are you making choices that will bring blessing or hardship to your children? 5. Lesson from Japheth's life for us today. Japheth's strength. Lesson for us. He honored his father. Honor your parents and elders for God's blessing. He received enlargement and expansion. Accept God's blessing when you live. Expect God's blessing when you live righteously. His descendants spread and became influential. Your choices today impact your family's future. He dwelt in the tent of Shem, connected to God's people. Stay close to God and his people for spiritual covering. 6. The choice between blessing and curse. Japheth's story contrasts sharply with that of his brother Ham. Japheth, blessing and expansion. Ham, dishonor and curse. Honored his father, disrespected his father. Received blessing and enlargement. His son Canaan was cursed. His descendants spread and thrived. His descendants Canaanites were destroyed. Connected to the blessing of Shem, lived outside God's blessing. Which path are you choosing? Japheth's life shows us that honoring God and those in authority brings expansion, while dishonor leads to consequences. Conclusion. Will you walk in Japheth's blessing? Japheth was not the most famous of Noah's sons, but his obedience and honor brought lasting blessing. Today, God is calling us to 1. Honor parents, elders, and spiritual leaders. 2. Live righteously to receive God's blessing. 3. Make choices that brings blessings to future generation. 4. Stay connected to God's people, the tent of Shem. 5. Trust God to enlarge our influence, opportunities, and blessing. Will you live a life to honor and obedience like Japheth, or will you follow the path of dishonor like Ham? Choose wisely, and you will walk in God's blessing and expansion. Amen.